The NFL Combine is on its way, but first, we're going to go over the top 5 predictions that we made that were correct. Why don't you join us? I just want to see how long you're going to keep that up.
That's it. That's it.
Welcome, everybody, to Top Dog Coverage. It's your boy Dirty with your boy C-Dub over on the other side, my main man, my main co-host, my main co-founder, the one that brought this blueprint here for us to enjoy. But today, we are going to be going over the top 5 bold takes that we had in the beginning of the season that we got right. I mean, look, trust me, everybody, you'll hear from us about all the wrong we did. Okay, we get reminded every single day. Dub, what do we got every day? A brand new comment, you said, every day.
Brand new comment. They don't like to. That one's a big one, which we'll cover in the next episode. But we figured we'd flex a little bit. We want to show off that we may know a thing about a thing. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, yeah,
it's very rare.
It is. It is quite rare. But some of the things that we did get right, we got right to a very specific degree as well. But I mean, when we swung and missed, though, we swung and missed too. So, but it happens. But
absolutely.
What we won't get wrong, one thing that we will not get wrong, okay, is for sure
our names.
It's the NFL news, baby. So we got some NFL news. More people getting hired, more people getting fired. CW, you want me to start? You want to start? How do you want to do this?
No, I'm going to kick us off. Let's go down to the desert. So the Cardinals are going to retain Nick Rallis as DC. So Rallis will indeed stay as the Cardinals defense coordinator, according to Albert Breer of SI.com. So basically, the Cardinals defensive coordinator search dragged on much longer than its offensive coordinator pursuit. Several days passed since Nathaniel Hackett's OC hire, but Arizona looked to be fine retaining Jonathan Gannon's top lieutenant. So a lot of went into this, but they decided to stick with Rallis. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
For LaFleur.
Yeah. The Raiders over in Las Vegas are promoting Rob Leonard to defensive coordinator. So after interviewing a few candidates for the defensive coordinator position under new head coach Clint Kubiak, the Raiders have opted to go with an internal candidate. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the run game coordinator, defensive line coach Rob Leonard is set to be promoted to coordinator in Las Vegas. A former college linebacker who led North Carolina State in tackles in 2008, Leonard immediately tuned to coaching out of college, starting as a defensive assistant as nearby Cardinals Gibbons High School in North Carolina. With a year of experience under his belt, he rejoined his alma mater, spending 3 years as a graduate assistant with the Wolfpack before making the jump to the NFL in 2013. So Leonard made his NFL coaching debut with the Giants, spending 4 years as a defensive assistant before getting promoted to assistant defensive line coach in 2017 under the defensive line coach Patrick Graham. So you guys, look, make sure that you guys leave a comment down below what you guys think about this. Jim Leonard getting promoted. Maybe he deserves it. Like he's been there for a while. So
I believe it's Rob Leonard, though.
Rob Leonard. Jim Leonard is the other DC. Yeah, Rob Leonard,
former safety. So. All right, let's go to the Seahawks. So the Seahawks considered a number of internal candidates to fill the offensive coordinator position. Instead, they will go outside the organization to replace Clint Kubiak. So Seattle is set to hire Brian Fleury to handle OC duties, as first reported by NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. Fleury has been in place with the Niners since 2019, but he will now move within the NFC West, and this will be his first offensive coordinator opportunity. So the Seahawks seem to be in position to promote an in-house staffer to the role of OC this offseason. Indeed, 4 candidates from within the organization recently conducted an interview. A small number of coaches from outside Seattle were mentioned as names to watch as the team search unfolded. One of those was Fleury, who met with the Seahawks yesterday, as in 214. Though things clearly went well and an agreement has now been reached. Fleury has been coaching since 2005, and he worked in a number of capacities during his college career. Stints as a defensive and special teams coordinator preceded Fleury's rise to the ranks of NFL staffs. The former undrafted free agent quarterback had brief tenures with the Bills and Browns prior to arriving in San Francisco. After one season working on the defensive side of the ball, Fleury became an offensive quality control coach for the Niners. That was followed by a 4-year run as the team's tight ends coach. In 2025, the title of run game coordinator was added, an indication of Fleury's importance to Kyle Shanahan's staff. The Niners will now need to seek out a replacement late in the 2026 hiring cycle. But for the Seahawks, meanwhile, the status of their internal OC candidates will be worth watching closely. Quarterbacks coach Andrew Janocko was among the coaches who loomed as a promotion candidate, but he has been heavily linked to the Raiders since Kubiak's departure.
Everything is coming like Clint Kubiak is in everybody's name here, man. Like, So with that, I'm going to go back to the Raiders. I'm going to go back to Los Angeles, where the Raiders hired Andrew. How do you say this?
Janocko?
Andrew Janocko. That's what it is. So Raiders hire Andrew Janocko as offensive coordinator, with the Seahawks moving to hire the 49ers tight ends coach Brian Fleury as a replacement for Clint Kubiak at offensive coordinator. The situation became much more clear for the Seahawks quarterbacks coach Andrew Janocko. No longer an internal candidate for the Seahawks job, a deal has now been finalized to make Janocko the Raiders' new offensive coordinator, according to Adam Schefter. In the wake of a Super Bowl victory, the Seahawks watched Kubiak depart for Las Vegas to become a first-time head coach. There began immediate conjecture around whether or not any Seattle staffers would be following him to the Raiders and who they may be. Janocko was one of the top people on that list. So he has worked closely with Kubiak in the 5 of the past 7 NFL seasons. They worked together in Minnesota, where Kubiak joined as quarterbacks coach in 2019. Janocko was entering his 5th season with the Vikings, serving as assistant offensive line coach after starting as an offensive quality coach in 2015. In 2020, Janocko moved to wide receivers coach when Kubiak was promoted to offensive coordinator in 2021, and Janocko replaced him in the role of the quarterback coach.
Nice.
It's very interesting. So leave a comment down below what you guys think about the offense coordinator, being filled in that area too. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, there's new coordinators, new head coaches. I mean, quote unquote, maybe new quarterback going on over there in the first pick. You never know. A lot of news over there in Las Vegas.
Yeah, this city that never sleeps, right? No, that's a Sin City, right?
That's us. That's us,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, Sin City. That's what Vegas is.
Yeah,
so.
we just don't sleep because we're anxiety ridden because none of our teams can do anything.
Fair enough. Let's go to Cleveland. So the Browns were known to be nearing a hire for their defensive coordinator vacancy. One of the finalists will indeed be heading to Cleveland. Mike Rutenberg is the Browns' choice, as first reported by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Not long after team and staffer interviewed, an agreement has been reached. Rutenberg's tenure with the Falcons will now come to an end. So retaining Jim Schwartz was a key priority for the Browns leading up to their head coaching search. The highly regarded DC was in the running to be promoted to the role, but Todd Monken was hired instead. Over a brief period, Schwartz's future was unclear, but as many predicted, he wound up resigning. That decision left Cleveland in need of a new DC for the first time since Schwartz arrived in 2023. A list of candidates quickly emerged, and while there were staffers who withdrew, the team was able to generate a group of finalists late in the hiring cycle. Rutenberg was one of 3 candidates firmly in the mix, and his attention will now turn to the first coordinator gig of his coaching career. So the 44-year-old has worked in a number of capacities at the college and NFL levels. Rutenberg has experience as a defensive backs coach and pass game coordinator in both regards, but he has also worked with linebackers in the pros. He served the Jets linebackers coach prior to following Jeff Ulbrich from New York to Atlanta the last offseason. After a 1-year Falcons stint, Rutenberg will take charge of a defense which ranked 4th in yards allowed in 2025. Few staffing changes are expected in the wake of this move, per Tony Grossi of The Land on Demand.
All right. let's take it down to Miami Beach, South Beach, where little action going on as the Dolphins release wide receiver Tyreek Hill. So, as expected, Tyreek Hill tenure with the Dolphins is ending. The All-Pro wideout is among the veterans being let go, and since he's being released, this marks the end of his 4-year run with the Dolphins. As Hill continues to recover from the season-ending knee injury he suffered in Week 4, he will now become a free agent. The Dolphins have since confirmed the news. 2026 was set to include $36 million in compensation in his case. Hill was due to collect $5 million in roster bonus as part of that figure in March, but many expected a release to take place well before that point. Miami has been busy on Monday with the team's list of veteran cuts, including edge rusher Bradley Chubb as well, and others. His release, along with that of Hill, was substantially altered the Dolphins' cap situation. So, with that being said, actually, Chubb's deal had 1 season remaining on it. However, none of his base pay for 2026 was guaranteed, leaving the door open to a release. It comes as little surprise Miami's new regime is moving forward with this cut prior to March 12th, when Chubb was due to collect a roster bonus. The Dolphins have since confirmed these moves. So roughly 1 year ago, Chubb agreed to restructure, which reduced his base salary for 2025. That move increased his cap hit for next year to over $31.5 million. Instead of attempting to work out another restructure for an extension, a release loomed as a logical direction for Miami. This move will generate a considerable dead money charge if it is processed immediately. On the other hand, a post-June 1st designation would create $20.23 million in savings for the Dolphins, one of the teams with work to do over the coming weeks to become cap compliant. So these are absolutely big moves for Miami, letting go of 2 big stars, and it's just, they're going to start from the ground up again here. So I mean,
the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolphins imploded this past season. Tyreek Hill lost a leg, so it's going to be one of those things that he's going to have to get a new magic leg and go to a new team. The Dolphins want nothing to do with him anymore. Bradley Chubb, I think, should generate some interest on the market. So I don't know. We'll see.
I think we all know Tyreek Hill's going back.
The Texans?
Yeah, he's going back to the Texans.
I don't think anybody knows where he's going. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have one last little bit of news. So Dirty, I'm gonna have to ask you a question. How much money do you have in your mattress? You can rough estimate.
$7.42.
Well, I've got great news for you because the Seahawks franchise is officially for sale. So start saving. We can put our bid in. 10 days after they won their second Super Bowl championship, the Seahawks announced that they are up for sale. The estate of Paul G. Allen today announced it has commenced a formal sale process for the Seattle Seahawks NFL franchise, consistent with Allen's directive to eventually sell his sports holdings and direct all estate proceeds to philanthropy. The team stated, the estate has selected investment bank Allen and Company and law firm Latham and Watkins to lead the sales process, which is estimated to continue through the 2026 offseason. NFL owners must then ratify a final purchase agreement. So the Seahawks have enjoyed stable ownership since Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft, purchased the franchise for $200 million in 1997. Allen passed away in 2018, but the team has stayed in his family since then. Jody Allen, Allen's sister, has taken control over the past 8 years. Rumors of a potential sale have persisted for a few years, most recently before the Super Bowl, making Wednesday's announcement unsurprising. Allen's goal was for his sister to eventually sell the Seahawks and the NBA's Portland Trailblazers and donate the proceeds to charity. Jody Allen sold the Blazers for approximately $4.2 billion last August. The wheels are now in motion to offload the Seahawks at a significantly higher price tag.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? It is a business. I think we forget that sometimes. And
That's what he wanted. It's what Paul Allen wanted. He put it in his will. I mean, I think it's pretty expected.
And it's pretty good timing. I mean, this is the pinnacle of what it's going to be worth. Like, you just won a Super Bowl too, So, but yeah, that's what we got for the news today. So, if you guys want to comment what you guys think, is probably the best take for either teams, or Cardinals, Las Vegas, Seahawks, Miami. Like, there's a lot going on, and there's going to continue to be a lot going on within the next few weeks, and then before you know it, combine's over, and
well, we got the legal tampering period right around the corner, right after the combine.
Yeah, man.
Well, the legal tampering, because they're going to be tampering while they're in combine in Indianapolis. So what?
We've seen those meetings happen before. You
late
walk
night
by,
bar deals.
Yeah, you walk by, they're sitting in a little corner over there, talk to people they shouldn't be talking to, but everybody's all sauced up. Nobody cares.
They're getting deals done, man. Whatever it takes.
They definitely are. So so we got Spidey in. So Spidey,
what's up, S-Bone?
He's from India, I'm guessing. I think that's how you say it. So there you go. We appreciate you coming in, and we do have one question, apparently for me. How do you manage to eat soup without getting it all over yourself? Rowan, it's a talent, my friend, and carefully is the answer.
Him and coffee have a better battle than him and soup. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
He likes to wear his coffee.
And I'm going back to the scene. I'm going back to the scene in a week.
Yeah,
that's where it all started. We can blame this. Okay, by the way, we can blame this on Michael Rizzo, our editor. Okay, he told us about this one place, right? Yoke, and we were ready to roll. I was so excited. I had the jitters. Dude, I couldn't keep any coffee on the table. Okay, so rest in peace.
You decided to pour it all over you. And the table.
Everybody. Whoever was at that table got a little something. Okay. So.
Yeah, man. That was you gotta become more civilized. Can't take you nowhere.
No, you can't. You know this by now. But if you guys have not yet, make sure that you follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and stay connected with us. Make sure you swipe up on Apple and Spotify. Don't worry. Spotify, you might see a little bit of a linger that has been happening, as far as I know, countrywide, or nationwide, I should say. Been having a little trouble getting some of the stuff out there lickety split. So I looked into it. So it's, even if you have a podcast, just make sure that hopefully that helps everybody else out, that it is a problem nationwide. So, but other than that, make sure you guys follow and subscribe. C-Dub, we had a very interesting off season last year before everything came to fruition, and we had some very, very bold takes that we stood by. We stood by the good takes. We stood by the bad takes as well. But today we are going to go over the good takes.
And this list was curated by yourself.
It was. I did a lot of deep diving.
You win the lab. You cooked up what our best takes were, and I'm really excited to get into it and see where we were correct.
Well, let's do you want to start? What do you want to start with? So we have 5 bold takes, and we also have an honorable mention.
Well, I say we go from the bottom to the top. Let's save the best for last.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And let's I would start with this honorable mention. What do you got for us?
Okay. Well, the honorable mention would be, as we discussed when we were going over the actual schedule predictions, that I said we both agreed that Miami was going to implode. Okay. We saw this happening. Something was going to happen. I was very specific on the week. I think it was week 5 or week 6 that McDaniels.
You predicted the week, the minute, the hour.
I was ready to roll.
What phase the moon was going to be in. Like you dialed in on that.
It was retrograde, by the way. So Mike McDaniels did not get fired, but the GM did. and that was the beginning of the imploding. That was the week that we picked that was going to happen, and now Mike McDaniels is no longer there. This was the year that we knew that he was something was going to happen, and Miami just needed to change. Hence the news that we just had to. They're cleaning house. They're getting everything rocking and rolling. But that is the honorable mention. We were told by a lot of Miami fans that they're fine. Tua is good. You'll see. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Well,
we did see.
We did see.
We saw them not make the playoffs, and we saw Tua get benched for Texas legend.
We got Chucky up in here.
Sam Ehlinger. No, not Sam Ehlinger. Why am I blanking?
That's Texas legend right there.
It is, but it's the wrong Texas legend.
I'm still catching up to all these Texas legends, okay? I was the person that didn't understand that every Longhorn was a Texas legend, and C-Dub is...
Who was the rookie for Miami for the Dolphins? I'm just going stupid. He was at Ohio State, then he transferred to Texas.
Oh, when we went to the Combine last year.
Quinn Ewers. Yeah. Sorry.
Nah, you're good.
I don't know why I got Sam Ehlinger confused with Quinn Ewers. Forgive me, people.
Probably because they're both in the same boat and probably won't play.
Hey. So I don't even know if Sam Ehlinger started games in the NFL.
Let me tell you something.
But Quinn Ewers has.
Nick Stanley
watch your tone.
Is the real Quinn and Ewers, okay?
I've never seen them in the same room together, so
we might this year. So
we might this year.
Hello, Mr. Nolan. Hello. So welcome in, everybody. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. But so Miami was imploding was our honorable mention, and I say with that we can probably go right into the top 5. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's number 5?
Number 5 is the dissension of the Detroit Lions, which we discussed. Okay. We believed and we held by that losing their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator was going to take a major hit. But not only did they lose that, they lost 7 coaches. Okay. That was a lot. It was a lot. You had them ranked, I believe, 3rd. You had them ranked 3rd. I had them ranked last.
I had Minnesota last. I remember that.
Yeah, I was way off with that one. I had Minnesota first. So they couldn't do it. Okay, they looked hot starting off. I think they started off 4-1. Okay, they looked good, and then it just slowly started.
They dealt with a lot of injuries and a lot of inconsistencies on both sides of the ball. I mean, it seems like the last 2 years, their defense has not been able to stay healthy for anything, right? And they still had a lot more success the year before, but this year, all the injuries, all the missing coaches. I mean, Dan Campbell had to take over play call duties, so I mean, it was just a rough time, and hopefully that he gets his coordinators right this time, and a second year without Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, we'll see.
And it's not even, the other thing was this too. It's not just the 7 coaches, right? You're losing your assistant quarterback coach. You're losing your offensive line coach, your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator, your defensive. I can't remember all of them. There was a lot, dude. There was a ton. When you lose that many people, you have to have a very strong culture in order to have all these new guys come in. Not saying they won't buy in, but they have to really pick up right where they left off, because Detroit they were right there last year.
Yeah, I think the culture is good. I think the culture is right. I think they were maybe a victim of the expectations.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that might be more, because I think Dan Campbell brings a great culture. You see a lot of the team is bought in. The teammates are strong. But you had too many moving parts, too many new coaches, too many new players, too many injuries. And, it was just one of those things that a lot of things did not go their way. And I could definitely see them bouncing back this year. But, we'll see. There's a lot of offseason left to go.
Absolutely there is. Let's carry on to number 4. Okay, our number 4 bold take, which was the Jacksonville Jaguars making a push. You had them ranked number 2. I had them ranked number 1 in the division, and You had the Texans ranked there, so
Mhm.
we were right. We were pretty much right
Yeah,
there.
we're both pretty close.
I had the Texans as 2. You had them as 1,
Right.
and vice versa. So,
Yeah.
um, but we were pretty much same on that division. But we talked about it. T Law getting more weapons. He had a lot of weapons. Brenton Strange was back there. He did a lot of
Yeah.
damage coming into the beginning of the season, and you specifically talked about that defense taking a step up, and it
Mhm.
really did. The second half of the season, they tightened up that run game. They looked like a very, very tough defense to run against, and T Law was slinging it. I mean, you saw him play against the Broncos. I don't want to say he made it look easy, but Broncos supposed to be a very, very good defense, which they still are. But look, he had weapons, he had time in the pocket, and he was making things happen. And the Jacksonville Jaguars really showed up this year.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of good wins early, and we were always like, okay, when is the real Jaguars gonna, show their
Mhm.
face? But
Yeah.
it was showed that it was a different day and age. Liam Cohen's the truth. He's really unlocked Trevor Lawrence's potential. You saw a lot of weapons kind of show out with like Parker Washington came into his own. Then you had Brian Thomas Jr. He was a very disappointing season after a great rookie year.
Mhm.
Travis Hunter goes down with the injury. You make the trade for Jacoby Myers, so you do have a lot of weapons, and then that defense. I mean, they were able to turn the ball over so many times. Devin Lloyd got hurt, and there's some injuries they dealt with, so it was kind of up and down, midway through the end of the season. But you saw a lot of the great potential of what they can be, and that it's a new day and age in Jacksonville. So if you're a Jaguars fan, you should be extremely excited.
Yeah, and the fact that you also you had your rookie get hurt this year, who was I'm not saying that you put all the expectations on him.
Talking about
Um,
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, yeah. I was blanking it, and I was hoping that you would come in there and save me like Superman, so thank you. Um, but there was this expectation of what he should be after he was traded up to they were traded up to go get him and everything. But on the other end with that, they did all of this without him. And that just shows that they do have a mentality of the next man up and what they can do. So if you do are able to do all of this without him, what can you do with him? That's my question. Whether that's
Well, you saw
offensive.
the report of what they discussed about him, correct?
Which one?
No. So he's going to primarily be playing corner, and he's going to be a limited receiver. So I think ultimately, when he was coming out last year, I think that was his best fit.
Mhm.
He's got some great receiving talent, but I think ultimately he's an above average, really good corner, right? And with great ball skills. And I think you could just use him on offense here and there. But I think it's going to allow him to have a longer, better career by allowing him to focus more on just one position.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. And it, in hindsight though, do you think that how do you gauge that trade now, knowing that he is an above average corner and you gave up a lot to go get him?
Hey, I mean, it was one of those things. Did you want to be the person to pass up on a guy that could be a two-way monster, Hall of
Mhm.
Famer type style? I mean, you go up, you take a shot, and I mean, it's a late first round pick. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Could you have Mason Graham? That's the one that the Browns ultimately ended up taking at their pick, right?
Yeah.
He had a good solid rookie year. Either way, I just think Travis Hunter, I think with his personality, with what they were trying to build, bringing in the right guys, and with that potential, he can still play both ways. They're just having him focus more on defense. I think the trade's fine. You come in, you're a brand new GM, brand new head coach, take a swing,
Yeah.
like whatever. You have some job security for a little bit,
I think
and it ultimately showed.
I think it's a good idea too, because you don't want somebody's cats going out there. This is how you get these kind of people hurt. You know what I mean? You're playing
Mhm.
both ways. You're overusing them. The NFL is a different beast from college. It's
Yep.
just it's not the '90s. It's not the '80s. It's not the same anymore. They're all like these kids coming up are already being overworked and and
They're getting paid too, so
true story. True story. All right, that was number 4. You want to hit the number 3 here with the Chicago? So number 3 is Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. And you have talked about this. You thought that he's your Prince
I'm a
Charming.
big Caleb believer. Believer.
Yep, big Caleb believer.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we were gonna paint our nails if he won the NFC Championship. So, oh, that's so funny.
I could just see you doing it. That's why.
Absolutely.
So the Chicago Bears, we discussed, you thought that Caleb was going to have a much better year this year. And I also believed that Ben Johnson was going to have his stamp on this offense. Clearly, he was going to make it his. And I wasn't too sure about the defense and what it was going to do or what have you. But you had the Chicago ranked as, I think, number 2, I believe.
Yeah.
I think I had them ranked as number 3, I believe.
Well, because I had my ranking was Packers, Bears, Lions, Vikings. You had Vikings.
I had Vikings, Packers, yeah, Bears, Lions. And then Lions, yeah. I had Lions last. But I did think, but again, we discussed the NFC North and the AFC North being one of those
powerhouse conferences or powerhouse divisions,
where one win could easily determine whether or not you go to, what have you. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And that's kind of what it was. And that's, but Chicago did an amazing job. Caleb definitely turned it up this year. The defense turned it up when it had to, and they got that running game going exactly the way Ben Johnson wanted it to happen. And
their 1-2 punch with Swift and Monungai.
Monungai is such an animal. No, absolutely, like a guy who doesn't fumble at all, and it seemed to be, from a scouting perspective, undersized for the position. I say undersized. You can't see the quotes because my hands are out here, but we're zoomed in.
I'd say undersized because he's considered more so a power back, right? He runs with a lot of power. He's 5'9", 215, 220 something.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Seahawks guy in the chat. Here we go.
Go
you know
Hawks.
What? They definitely don't get acknowledgement just yet. Everybody thinks
a Super Bowl champ being Seahawks.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being the Super Bowl champs, but that doesn't mean everybody else is trash. Can't be down talking everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bears are in a really good position. I'm really excited to see what happens in year 2 in Ben Johnson's system. I want to see the next step in Caleb's evolution. Rome Odunze, it really nice to see what he can do. He had a really he started off hot, dealt with a lot of injuries, and fizzled out. So, and Colston Loveland, what a stud. He really showed up in the playoffs. He was a favorite target to Caleb. Like, I'm really excited to see what he can do in year 2 as well.
There are so many weapons on this team. I mean, the depth in tight end, the depth in wide receiver, the depth in running back. That like what? They have so many weapons, dude. They have so many weapons, and I think it was a perfect spot for Ben Johnson. They didn't really give Green Bay Packers any room to really breathe in that last game. They were really just laying it on.
They beat them twice. They beat them twice in a few weeks span.
Those are the games.
Add some more pieces to the defense. I mean, this is the same Chicago team that couldn't beat the Packers since forever, right? Yeah. And they beat them 2 out of 3 times they play this year. It's a common theme, but it's a new day and age for the Chicago Bears, right? It's the Ben Johnson, the Caleb Williams era. So, future's bright.
But apparently, all are trash compared to the Seahawks. So there you go.
If you don't win the ship, you don't win the ship. So
I guess not. Let's go to our number 2 bold take, which was that the Cleveland Browns would come in dead last in the AFC North, but still have a very high-ranked defense and an excellent, excellent defense, and we believed it. We 100% believed it. We knew that, look, going into that quarterback situation, it didn't look good, right? So we kind of had that going for them.
That's before Flacco.
It was, but
No,
that defense,
no. That's before they traded Flacco. Yeah, my bad.
but that defense looked nasty. Just on paper,
No.
it looked absolutely disgusting, and that front line still looks nasty. Mason Graham, Myles Garrett, the sack leader now. We got to have some respect on this dude's name now.
Single season sack record. He had 23 in one season.
Yeah.
Shouts out to him.
Shout outs to him. So and you saw some of the games there that just like that, hey, you need that defense to go do something, they'll do it. And they proved it. That defense was absolutely just astonishing to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, it was great. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see with the new DC with Rutenberg taking over for Schwartz, see what kind of elements that he changes and he takes, because he's from the Ulbrich tree and the solid tree. So, he's got a bright future. So we'll see how he, puts his stamp on this defense. But there's a lot of great bones to it. They'll probably add more to this defense, maybe get another pass rusher opposite Myles Garrett, takes the pressure off him. Like they got so many different routes that they can go with this, and it's not a new day and age for Cleveland, but they got a new coach. Maybe we can get the offense right. Maybe we can make some noise. I don't know. The defense will always give them a chance to be in any game, especially when you got Myles Garrett there. So,
yeah, absolutely. Myles Garrett, I remember seeing that guy in person. He had a full head, full helmet over his entire defense when I was there, and I was like, "Jeez, this guy is an enormous man." So, I mean, just watching him is arm length. Man,
Arlington, Texas product too. Like, he's a Tejas boy, man. You saw him at the NFL Honors wearing his
I did,
cowboy hat and all that.
Yeah,
Texas pride.
And it was ready to roll. But let's go through some of the comments real quick before we go on to our number one here.
What's up, peeps?
Okay,
what you got?
So we got Go Hawks, and look, we get it, man. Seattle Seahawks, they're doing their thing. Jersey picker, and then we got a little Rams action here.
Ooh, a little rivalry.
Yep, little rivalry.
Play nice in the chat. Hawks Rams.
Those are some of the best games this year. Not gonna lie, those are some of the best games that we watched this year.
A lot of the NFC West matchups were great.
Yeah,
the Niners,
really were.
Rams, Seahawks. The Seahawks Niners weren't great, but they just pummeled them. But I guess if you're a Hawks fan, that's great. So
and you can also say to the fact that like Matthew Stafford quietly threw 46 touchdowns.
Right.
Like, wild. That's wild.
The dude was in a trailer rehabbing his back during training camp.
Yeah.
You think he just faked it so he didn't have to do any training camp?
I got things I gotta do, man.
He's like, I got 3 daughters, man. I ain't doing training camp.
And we got the Bengals and Jamar checking in. So if Burrow stays healthy, do you think that the Bengals can make the playoffs? C-Dub, what do you think of that?
Absolutely. 100% yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffalo, we don't know what's there. They have a new head coach. It's a familiar coach. So they're going to be we'll see. Ravens are in flux as well. They have a new head coach. Lamar wasn't able to stay healthy last year. The Chiefs, they're old. They're having to make moves. And Mahomes coming off that ACL injury. I think with Bengals, their main key should be adding to that defense. You've got plenty of weapons there for Joe Burrow, but we got to shore up the defense and at least, stop giving up 40, 50 points a game, right? If we could lower that down to maybe, 20, we get a fighting shot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and look, he still came back trying to swing for the
Warrior.
fences too. Yeah, he really was. And you know what? One of the best things that he said too was, look, we get paid a lot of money to play this kid's game. Which is 100% true.
Yeah, he takes the right approach with everything in that. We're big Burrow believers here as well. So
yeah,
and a lot of top AFC teams, like I mentioned, they're going to be in flux. They have new coaching staffs. We're not quite sure what they're going to be. So this would be a great year for them to put Burrow in bubble wrap and get ready for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So our number one.
Oh, can I guess which conference?
Absolutely, you can. Yes.
I'm gonna go NFC.
Yes. NFC.
Okay.
Do you want to keep going? Do you want to phone a friend?
Yeah. Someone help me out. We're in the NFC, so we're down to 16 teams.
Anybody in the chat, give C-Dub a little bit of help. This is a lifeline.
Which team? Which team is it for?
We're in the NFC. Division. Go with division. We went conference.
Okay. It's not the South because nothing happens in NFC South.
It's not the South, no.
No. We've already talked heavily about the North. I don't think there's anything more about the North. Unless it's about the Vikings finishing last.
No.
That's always fun. That's always fun.
Look, I'll give you a big hint. And shout out to Tunuk. Shout out to you too, my friend. Tuna Q.
Yo.
Interesting. That's your lifeline, C-Dub. That's your lifeline right there from the Bengals and Jamar.
Bengals Jamar shout you out. Yes, I think it's the NFC West.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it is an NFC West take. Now we had a few takes from the NFC West, not for nothing. We talked about
we talked a lot about these teams.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago too, and shouts out to Dirty for doing all the research for this, because that takes patience. It takes a very disciplined man to do that.
You just throw your headphones on, you do your errands, and you just listen to 350 videos that you did.
Yeah. Shouts out to you, man. That's incredible.
I appreciate you, man. Muhammad, we hope you get better, bud. Take care of that arm. Okay.
The good news is you have two. So
that's the good news. That's the good news, Muhammad. So hope you're doing well. Take care of that arm, okay, buddy? All right. Are you ready for it?
I mean, yeah, we're in the NFC West.
Yeah.
We got four teams that it could be.
Think Crown.
Crown Royal, you got to drink responsibly.
That is true. You do have to drink responsibly. So
Stafford's a kingmaker, but I don't think that's the Crown we're talking about. Since this dude, every time he throws the ball, one of his receivers has a top, receiving season. Like Calvin Johnson, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams led the league in touchdowns or whatever. But I don't think it's him. Okay. Cardinals, the desert's on fire. We don't even want to mention all that, but I don't think it's not that.
How about this? I'll give you a little stat here. Think number one, but number two.
12s? We talking Hawks? Seahawk take?
We're talking Hawks, baby.
Oh my Lord. There's no way.
Our number one bold take of this 2025 season is that Jackson Smith-Njigba will have his breakout season. And man, did he do it.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith-Njigba had 119 receptions for 1,793 yards, averaging 15.1 yards per catch and 10 touchdowns. This kid was absolutely amazing. Watching him do what he does on the field, it was just astounding. And having somebody like Sam Darnold to come in there, already knowing how to work with like Justin Jefferson, I think we saw that coming. Like he knew what to do with Justin Jefferson. He was going to have another kid that is just as elite, and he just hasn't had that opportunity yet with the right quarterback, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it was his third season. That's historically when receivers have their biggest breakout, right? JSN was a stud at Ohio State, and arguably, I mean, if you talk to a lot of those receivers, right, that were there at that time, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., they all played together. And anytime anybody would ask them who's the best of their bunch, they would always go JSN. So you knew it was a matter of time, right? The draft he came out, he kind of fell. He was the first receiver off the board, but he fell later in the draft, just because it wasn't necessarily a receiver strong draft or whatever. But you saw the tools of what a great route technician he was. He's got the speed, he's got great hands. You knew it was just a matter of time until this dude just exploded. And this happened to be the fairy year or whatever. I don't know where I'm looking for, but this happened to be the year that it all came together, and it was a fairy tale season. How about that?
It was a fairy tale season, and not for nothing. That doesn't mean he can't do it again. He's more than he has the age, he has the ability. I'll always say this. I remember sitting and watching an interview with Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave, and all three of them Ohio State wide receivers, and her asking each one of them questions, and he's sitting down in the front, and Garrett and Chris are sitting behind him. And they said, out of the three of you, who is the most athletic? And they both pointed down to him, and he pointed at himself. That takes an enormous amount of confidence. He was not cocky about the situation. He's a very humble player, but they say that he just does things. He doesn't come from other NFL players. He just does things and makes it look normal when other people have to really train to get that type of mobility or that type of agility. And it shows in his play. He makes things look like it is backyard ball. He is having fun out there, and you could tell.
Well, yeah, and I think just the way he runs his routes, it's very difficult for the defender to know what type of route he's running because it all looks almost exactly the same, right? There's no tell in his game of what route he's about to run. So, and that just goes to being a student of the game and really mastering your craft. So he's going to be a great receiver for a really long time. He deserves to be up there with the Ja'Marr Chase, with the Justin Jefferson. It's a great debate. LSU versus Ohio State, and all these great receivers coming out. But Jason definitely deserves his flowers. That is definitely one we got right.
And Jackson?
What I say?
You said Jason.
Oh, Jackson. Yeah, my bad.
Sorry. Hey, look, he's that good. He can change his name.
Sometimes names are hard. It's JSN. Sounds like Jason.
It does. Actually, it does.
That's on me. That's on me. I get confused. Words are hard.
That's all right. I like Cam Akers, in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah, that's also facts. But yeah, man, I'm really excited because 2 years ago, I was able to get JSN in a dynasty trade midway through the season, and I used DK Metcalf as a trade piece to do that. So I feel good that my trade paid off as well. Nobody cares, but it's okay.
I care.
I feel good about it.
I care. Okay.
No, you don't, because we're competing in this league, and it's always 1 and 2.
I'm gonna have to care because then I'm just gonna be like, damn it, he made that trade, so I have to care.
Sure.
One more comment before we leave here, and Ja'Marr. I'm gonna say Ja'Marr or Justin. I'm gonna take this one first. I'm gonna go Ja'Marr, strictly because I'll say the quarterback take on this right now. You got to go with who's got the good quarterback. But I still think that Ja'Marr Chase would probably win the race in that one a little bit as well. But Justin Jefferson is nothing to sneeze at, but I would still go Ja'Marr Chase.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong. This is like
No.
1A, 1B, or
Yeah.
1AA, 1AAB, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mhm.
But two very much elite receivers. I would argue that Justin Jefferson has more of the elite size,
Mhm.
right, with his height. But Jamar Chase is so great after the catch. He's built very like a running back. Once he gets the ball in his hands, I mean, anything's possible. I would also go Jamar, but it's really really close. And maybe it's just due to because the age, but
Yeah.
man, you can't go wrong with either one.
No, you certainly cannot. And if you guys thought that we went wrong on any one of our bold takes, please comment, like, subscribe. Let us know that we were wrong. Email us at topdogcoverage@gmail.com. Go to the website at topdogcoverage.com and go let us know what your favorite teams are. It takes all the data, it gives it to us so we know what our fan base likes, and follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and stay connected. But that is it for your boy Dirty, your boy C Dub. We will come back at you guys with the 5 worst takes of 2025 that we had, and that is what
Oh
everybody
boy.
is really waiting for. The Seahawks fans are waiting for us. A lot of people are waiting for us as we get more and more information of how we were wrong each and every day. But with that being said, it's your boy Dirty. It's your boy C Dub. We're over and out, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.